hopefully he's able to connect and we can start, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm seeing he's entered the session.
How many other people are there?
We're 5 of us.
There are 5 of us.
Yes. So
Prof. Doss is also with me. But we're just using the same computer.
PC.
Yes.
Okay, so in the chat I have, we're 8 of us now. Yes.
Okay.
In this session, yeah.
Okay. Well, how would you like to proceed?
I think we can start with the members introducing themselves. I don't know if Dr. Shibobo is able, because he's delegated to help us in the reporting back, but we can start introducing ourselves with the interest.
Okay.
Not me, but the members of the team, yeah.
Okay, I think we can start with the others since they just presented.
Yeah.
Give the others an opportunity.
Yeah, so maybe we can start with Georgia. You can just ask to join the chat and the video, and you can be able to hop in, and you can switch on your audio or video, whichever you prefer. Great.
Hi, you can hear me?
Hello. Yes, we can.
Great. I'm excited to hear from all of you. My name is Georgia Vandezand. I'm a PhD candidate in the Mechanical Engineering Department at MIT in Boston. And our team is focusing on designing solar-powered irrigation systems for primarily small to medium-sized farms in East Africa. So that's why I'm interested in the product and services.
Great. That's nice. I think next we can go to Christina Shia. I hope I've mentioned your name correctly. I haven't butchered your name. Yeah, even Andrew. Andrew is here. Andrew, you could start.
Yes, good evening for those in East Africa.
Good evening to you too.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Ayo. My name's I'm from Macquarie University. I work with the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the College of Engineering. I'm a lecturer there. I'm also the Deputy Director of the Center for Technology Design and Development at the university. My interests are one in appropriate technology. So Georgia mentioned irrigation systems. We do that for local pumps, solar pumps for local people. We do food processing equipment like maize shellers, again for local people. Those are manual systems and both are diesel run systems. I'm also on the other side of high tech. Let's do nanotechnology. Right now, I'm looking at how we can use iron ore as a precursor for developing a contrast agent for imaging cancerous cells in males. So I'm in nanotechnology and then appropriate technologies. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Great.
I think next we can have Oscar. We can have Oscar or Srinath even, because you're Srinath, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Srinath. I'm working for Faculty of Computing, Buddha University. I'm with my colleague, Dr. Chinandu here. Thank you.
I don't know if Dr. Shivago is able. I was actually trying to text him to see if he's able to join. Yes, great.
Hello.
Hello.
So my name is Bernard Shibobo. I'm a faculty at Strathmore University, but then in addition to that, I'm also a director in charge of graduate studies. So my area of specialization is just computing. That is machine learning, embedded systems, and so on. But then, of course, anything to do with sustainability, I'm also quite interested in that. So thank you, and I look forward to interesting discussions today.
That's great.
That's great.
Thank you. Maybe
Thank you.
Oscar now.
Maybe Oscar now.
Oh, yes. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, my name is Oscar from Buti University under Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science. I am more into product development. So I'm currently working with Innovation for Sustainable Development students. So we're working on quite a number of projects. One of them being how to convert sludge into, because we want to extract the gas which is being produced from the sludge so that we can commercialize that gas and see how we can assist the small businesses locally. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. I think Dr. Chinandu, you can now, I think, proceed and when people... Christina is here. Christina hasn't introduced herself. Sorry, I almost forgot.
That's okay. Can you hear me? I'm just figuring out this.
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
My name is Christina Shea. I'm a professor in engineering design and computing at ETH Zurich. And I joined because we have two projects. One is we have at ETH for Development, which is an initiative over the last year in development engineering. And within that, I started a low-cost ventilator project spurred by COVID, but now we're looking for also development for low and middle income countries, and especially designed for service and maintainability.
That's great. Thank you so much, everyone. I think, so my name is Michelle Wanyang. I just finished my 4-year degree at Strathmore University. I'm currently doing a project thanks to problem design thinking that aims to set up hydroponic farms in high schools in Kenya to alleviate food insecurity and also trying to use IT for the same. So basically trying to sustainably elevate food insecurity in Kenya. Thank you. I think Dr. Chinandu, you can take it from now.
Okay, thanks, my dear. Thanks, Michelle. From what I gather, the majority of you are from an engineering background or design engineering background. You are interested in appropriate technology or technology for sustainable development. So what I would suggest is if we pick one or two common areas or subjects to one or two common areas. For example, Oscar was talking about the issue of sludge, and someone earlier, I think it was Georgia, was talking about designing solar powers. I don't know which of those two areas would you like to discuss around? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've had background consensus on solar.
On solar. Okay,
Yes.
no, if it's solar, then shall we let Georgia make a brief introduction about her project and how far they've got, and then others can also take part on, maybe you might want to ask questions, or you might also want to discuss about solar projects that you've worked on.
Sure. Yeah, I can introduce where we are on the project. So I'd say within studying in Africa, we're fairly early in the design stages, still trying to understand what users need and what they want. I will say in the MENA region, we've worked a bit on drip irrigation there, and we've done some work to lower the activation of drip irrigation systems so that fewer solar panels are needed. And so that was like an interesting insight that our team had, where we can design the hydraulic side to impact the power side. just by lowering the pressures needed to activate the system. I haven't studied a ton about the distribution or any other factors like that, and so I'd be curious to hear what you all would have to say on those areas.
Any comments, observations from the other members of the team?
Yeah, Andrew here. Yeah, I do believe if you're looking at a project that is centered on the African continent, then solar energy is vital for us to use, because we know our environment here is more of a solar-based environment. Now, one of the key things we look at when you're designing a solar-based pump was the reduction in the cost of the pump, and that did make us think about how can it eliminate some systems, the solar system of irrigation. For us, what we did was to design a system which has no battery. So what happens, just use, if you have got 5 hours of sunshine in Africa, you're using those 5 hours of sunshine to pump water into a reservoir, and then use drip irrigation using gravitational force from the tank to the gardens. So in that way, we are reducing the cost system and then the maintenance costs. So this can be available to many other farmers who want to irrigate their crops. So we're looking at how can we help the rural farmer, the rural person, achieve what they want to achieve from the garden. Yeah.
So one question I have with what you just said, and it broke up a little bit, so I'm just going to repeat what I understood, where you said it would make a lot of sense to pump to a tank during the sunlight hours, and then slowly over a longer period of time, you can have the tank flow into the field and through the drip lines. One thing that we found is that tanks are actually very expensive, and you might be able to slightly oversize a power system and buy a little bit of an extra solar panel for much less money and pump directly to the field and skip the tank. Do you have any thoughts on how users might respond to that kind of a system?
Oh.
Any comments on the observations?
I didn't hear what Georgia asked. She was not off.
Okay, Georgia, would you like to ask the question again or send it via chat?
Sure. I'll ask and then I will type. So one thing that we saw through our cost analysis is that the tank is very expensive. And so the method you just described relies on a tank, which might be a few $100s. Instead, you could find a strategy where you oversize the solar panels, maybe spend extra $50 on the solar panels, and now you're able to pump directly into the field. So the sort of the energy and power in the system is not minimized, but the cost is minimized because you've replaced the tank with some extra solar panels. And I'm curious your thoughts on how farmers might respond to that.
Yeah, if I could add on that, as I mentioned before, the average time that we have good sunlight to give us our solar power in Africa here is 5 hours. But then you can have even 8 hours of sunshine. And you know, with those 5 hours, you can get the minimum amount of water that you need to irrigate your crops in a given field. So what we're saying is, if you have a pump without maybe a battery, you can directly pump water during the 5 hours and then store them in a reservoir. And then you use the gravitational watering system to put down back water into the field later in the day. So with that, we are looking at now how much expensive is expensive in Africa. You know, we may say like $200, but $200 is not very expensive. So if you're looking at maybe making a pumping system at like $100, maybe within Africa, the small scale farmers will adopt a system for their agriculture.
Does anybody else have any other comments, observations in response to George's question? Great. Any comments? Or would somebody like to add something else about solar power in Africa? Oscar, I remember you used to work at Botec. Did you not do any projects on solar power while you were there?
Okay, what we did.
Okay, who'd like to go first? It seems.
You get me?
Okay.
Okay, Bernard, can you go?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, we've got 4 minutes before we have to go back to the next session. We have to go back to the main session. We've got 4 minutes left before we go back to the main session. Is it possible for us to discuss quickly how you'd like to collaborate either on projects or publications? Is any of collaborating on publications or research collaboration? Very quickly, unfortunately, we've only got 4 minutes left. I know, for example, Buto is interested in collaboration with the projects, either be it solar or agricultural implements. And so I don't know about the other members. Yes, and if anyone is interested, you can send the email to us.
Maybe yes. I can just summarize a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in our case, that is Strathmore University in Kenya. We have the specific items, because we are having a number of ongoing projects that can actually be opened up for collaboration. One of them is a key, because we think we were the first. We have been running both training or capacity building in the area of solar. So that has extensively been something that we have been doing with partnership with various organizations, because we became the first carbon neutral university in sub-Saharan Africa. So it's something that we've been doing for a long period of time. And then the other area that I find lots of opportunity will be actually any element, most elements that are, because we are looking at support for in the area of healthcare and food. So technology with provision of healthcare, food, just like what Michelle has indicated, ensuring that the community, whether it's through agriculture or generally sustainability around food or food production. So that I think due to time, I can actually stop at that point and mention those two key based on what the conversation that we've been having.
Yes.
But of course, we'd be happy to do even much more than that.
Okay, no, I think that would be brilliant. In that case, I think we can conclude and agree that maybe we can work in conjunction, or we can look at what Strathmore is doing and collaborate, because it seems you already have a base, or you've already the area. And we could, others, those who are interested in working with Georgia, I think you can also approach her, because she's actually sent a message indicating that, if someone wants to talk more about irrigation and agriculture, they can also contact. Does anybody have anything else to add on that, on top of that? Michelle, Oscar, Andrew, Georgia, Christina?
I think it will be great for us as Makerere University to participate in such collaboration projects, mainly in appropriate technology. So if an opportunity comes around, please, can we have a platform where we can discuss more about these projects? Let's have one goal as a team.
From my side, this is Christina. I'm also interested in appropriate technology and how to user needs development to be able to do that, especially right now during COVID when we can't travel. And so that's an interest of mine as well as, like I said, maintenance and serviceability of, in our case, medical equipment, but it could be general for technical products.
Okay. Before we leave, I don't know if there's anybody, I don't know how many minutes left we have or how many seconds.
Time is out.
Time is out. Okay then. And I'd like to thank all of you for taking part in this breakout session. And I wish you all a lot of good luck with your project. And I hope we'll be able to communicate with each other later on and see how we can collaborate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.